The market tries to fall, but the bulls squeeze into the close and pass their test. Is the bottom in? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in yesterday's video, we talked about the fact that the market needed to hold 43.72 and then push back up and take out Tuesday's high, and that's exactly what we saw. The market held 43.78 before squeezing into the close and getting really close to taking out Tuesday's high. Now the question is the bottom in? I'll get into that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, in my room, we were 4 for 4 on day trades yesterday. We absolutely killed it. In PT's room, they absolutely killed it as well. Started off a little slow and then closed really strong. We are making money in this market that is whipping people around. The market went up on bad PPI data, which we talk about all the time, that the news is noise. So if you want to be part of a winning trading team, stay tuned for later in the video. For now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 5-minute futures chart for the S&P 500, and we are zoomed in just a little bit here because I want you to be able to see the waves just a little bit clearer than you can on the 1-hour chart. And we did the big picture on Monday that goes over that as well as the 1-hour counts. So we're going to zoom in today and do the 5-minute chart. And on the 5-minute, off of our truncated fifth down here, the low off of Friday the 6th, we have wave 1 up, wave 2 down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 came down, held the 618, 43.72, the number I told you it needed to hold yesterday. And now we're pushing back up over this high to look for wave 5 of 3 to complete. And we should look for the 44.61 up to the 44.89 areas. So these two fibs are a little bit overlapped, but it's 44.89 up here. So this would be wave 5. Let's move that over a little bit, of wave 3, which would complete all of wave 3 off of the lows. And then from there, we'd look for a wave 4 pullback. And then finally, a wave 5 up toward the 4,500 level from there. So the chart is following the path as we would expect. We still have some work to do before we would call a bottom in. And basically what we're looking at here is this wave 4 pullback and move higher is a strong start to telling us a bottom is in. If we come up and hit this target, that gives us 3 up off of the lows. We need 5 up for a good, solid structure. So we would still need this 4 and 5 to play out up towards 4,500. And then finally, we would want to see an ABC to the downside that holds support. And if we get that and a move up off of that, then I would be willing to say the bottom is in and we're headed towards that 4,800 area. And we're off to the races at that point. But until we get 5 waves up off of the low, we need to be a little bit cautious and understand that we can still see moves to the downside. So what do those moves to the downside look like? Well, they still haven't broken the pivot to the bear move down. We've talked about this for a while. It's 44.22. They are very close to that right now, but they haven't broken through. They're at 44.18. If they do break through the bear pivot, okay, we could see a bigger diagonal play out, but once again, diagonals are not trustworthy. It's not something I really want to hang my hat on. So I would be cautious about that as a possibility. But you could see a move up here and a bigger wave 4, and then a bigger 5th wave down that would take us down toward this 40.96 area to complete the move down in a diagonal format. And if we get that, if we get the diagonal down format, then we'd look for a very sharp move back up toward the 45.40 area or so for a big wave 2 before seeing wave 3 of C start in earnest to the downside. So a lot of work to do for both camps. The bears need to either hold the pivot at 44.22, which given the current structure doesn't seem likely at this time, but it is still possible, or we have to see a diagonal play out where we push up just a little bit higher here and then start the move down after that toward the 4,100 level. Over on the NASDAQ, okay, on the NASDAQ, we are on the 2-hour chart because the NASDAQ is following its path very well. We have talked about this one ad nauseum and what we would expect. We got that 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. They got 5 for wave 3. They have 4 down here that happened yesterday, and now they're making 5 up into this 15,424 up to as high as 15,604. We would expect 15,501 to 15,604 to kind of be our measuring stick where we would count wave 5 to end. We should move up. That would give us a solid 5-wave structure up on the NASDAQ, which would be a little bit ahead of the ES. And so if we see that on NASDAQ, and remember the NASDAQ's been leading since back in May, April, May, we would look for a three-wave move down and then a move back up. If they hold support down here and start to bounce, that's a pretty strong signal, especially if it's an impulsive bounce, that we're on our way to that 16,000 plus area. And there are a couple of potentials once we get up there, and we'll talk about that. But for now, we would look toward all-time highs as the move to the upside after we see this move up to complete wave 5, then an ABC down that holds support to give us a wave 2, and then build off of that. So getting a wave 1 in place and holding support would be a very strong indication we have bottomed and we're headed back towards the all-time high area. Now, we have to zoom out a little bit for the NASDAQ bigger picture because it would be a much bigger diagonal playing out for wave 1 of C to the downside. So we take these counts off of here so they don't confuse us. Off of the high, okay, you would call this wave 1. Okay, and this would be wave 1 of wave 1. Wave 2, and then this would be the A wave of 3, the B wave of 3, and then you'd look for C of 3 down here towards 13,856. And they are still very valid in this B wave. So even though we get the 5 up into that 15,600 area, it would still be a valid B wave. So we have to be careful and make sure that we hold support on the next move down, because any break of these lows down here is going to be very bad for the bulls and tell us that we have much lower to go and not just making a nominal new low. So A, B, and then we look for this C wave down to 13,856. This is why it's important to make sure support holds before we start to look higher. And then from there, we'd look for a wave 4 back up into wave 1 territory, which is around the 14,865, 14,900 area right here. We'd look for a wave 4 back up into this area. This choppy area would be good resistance. And then down in our 5th wave from there toward 13,276. And that would give us a wave 1 of C to the downside to start building a bigger bearish structure and one that will last quite a while. So this path here is one that, if it plays out, will lead to much bigger selling. But it has to give us this kind of move down in order to kind of open the door for that. Otherwise, the bulls are in control of the market and we do look higher toward all-time highs. Guys, if you love the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. It will take you right over to the website. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible monthly plans that both come with a 7-day free trial, because I want you to get in there, make sure you love it, and become part of the trading team before you ever spend a penny. Come in and see the trades I'm talking about in these videos. Watch us make money, become part of the team, have a great time, and stay if you love it. Or you can cancel at any time, no cost to you. We also have our Elliott Wave for Beginners course. This course is helping real traders make real money and finally understand the market in a way that makes sense. It's hard to watch the PPI data come out hot today and understand why the market would zoom higher. Bad news makes the market go up and good news makes the market go down. Doesn't make sense. However, with Elliott Wave, you understand what the targets are, which we laid out in our video, what they should hold, and they did, and they moved higher as we expected, regardless of the data. These things make sense with Elliott Wave. You don't have to try to guess what the news is going to be or what the Fed's going to do or what CPI is going to be tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Elliott Wave gives you clear targets and clear reversal points and failure points. It is 25 videos in 3 courses where I go through the introduction. That's your expectations, your mindset and emotion, the KISS method, and why Elliott Wave works. It's your chart setup and tools, where we give you every single tool you need on your chart and how to set it up and use it with Elliott Wave to make sure that you're seeing the right things, that you're confirming your tops and bottoms, all of those different things, as well as the Elliott Wave for Beginners section, where I go through each wave, what its targets are, how they work, what their failure points are, as well as corrective depth theory, the theory of alternation, corrective zigzags, impulsive, the pivot, everything you would want to know to get yourself set up and understand the market in a way that makes sense. The really cool part about the course is it's included in both of our monthly rooms. So if you get the Invest with Jacob plan, it comes with that for free. Same with the throne room. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where I go over exactly where we are in the counts and what to expect, as well as the trading material you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing trade, which means our trades can last anywhere from a few days to a few months. So we don't trade quite as often as the day trading room does, although we have added a day trading algorithm that is absolutely killing it. But if you are interested in regular day trading as well as individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as day trading, individual stocks, and PT's reduced risk binary method that just crushes the market. He gets you in at a cheap price and gets you big multiples on your money, and it's how he structures your trades that's so unique. Something you really have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where you put $4,000 into an account, make trading mini ES futures, averaging 3 to 4% gains per week, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we would love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. Okay, the key takeaways for today. The bulls are looking to continue higher here to complete wave 3 up toward that 44.89 area. If they can get that completion, and it would be 44.61 to 44.89, I should say. 44.61 to 89 area, we get that. We would look for one more pullback. Then we'd look for one more high to 45.06 to 45.30 to give us one more high, give us 5 up, and then look to hold support from there. However, if they cannot complete the move up, we could see a diagonal play out to the downside from the bears, or they can hold the pivot at 44.22. However, they're getting very close to that being broken, and then move down from there. Over on the NASDAQ, they're looking to complete their 5-wave pattern up to the 15,500, 15,600 area, and then look for a pullback that holds support. The alternate would be that we are in a wave B of 3 to the downside and a bigger diagonal, where we'd still be looking for the C wave down, and that would take us down toward the 14,068 area and be a sharp sell-off that ends the bulls' hopes of taking this back to all-time highs. Guys, that is your market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.